What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tech Spec. Quick, how much did you pay for your last phone? 300? 500? 1,000? Not too bad, right?
The price is wrong.
It's no secret that budget phones are getting better and better with each passing year. Features that used to be exclusive to flagship devices such as high refresh screens, water resistance, and great cameras are now showing up on more budget-friendly devices. But with this improvement in budget phones, we've also seen phone cycles rapidly increase, with companies releasing new phones so fast your $1,000 phone is worth half of that in 9 months. Google has actually been releasing some of the better budget phones over the last 2 years with their popular A series. They just announced their Pixel 5a starting at $449, and it seems great, but it really got me thinking about the Pixel 3a, their first entry into the budget segment. How has that phone held up over the last 2 years? Let's dive in. The Pixel 3a came out in 2019, and I just bought one used for $100. I really wasn't expecting much because I bought a OnePlus 3T for like $80 2 weeks ago, and that was straight garbage performance-wise.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
But this thing has been super impressive. They released an XL and non-XL versions, and this is the smaller one. It's got a 5.6-inch OLED 1080p screen for good one-handed usage, a Snapdragon 670, and a single 12-megapixel camera on the back. It's also got a rear fingerprint sensor, which is actually kind of nice coming from Face Unlock on the iPhone I've been using lately. It's really just a pain when wearing a mask all the time. It's got stereo speakers and a headphone jack, and after like 30 updates, it's finally running on Android 11. Performance has been great. There's little to no lag opening apps, and day-to-day performance has been really smooth. Potential downfalls with used budget phones like the smaller 3000 mAh battery and only 4 GB of RAM really haven't seemed to impact this phone. I get a full day of moderate usage out of it, and I haven't had any issues of apps having to reload like those that plagued the Pixel 3 when that came out. It charges quickly, and it's also got better than average haptic feedback, so that's nice. Now, the phone is made of plastic and not metal or glass, but it's got a solid feel, and it's actually a little heavier than I thought it would be, and it should hold up better in accidental drops than glass phones would. Think more like scratches instead of shattered glass. It actually kind of feels like the Pixel 5 with its plastic-coated metal build. Let's talk about the camera. With only one 12-megapixel camera on the back, I was again surprised at how well this thing still works for point-and-shoot photography. Google is known for their camera performance. I'd say this will probably compete with their new 5A in day-to-day usage. Pictures are sharp without too much saturation, and it's really just a camera you can whip out and snap a photo with and not have to mess with too much. It's got portrait mode that works really well considering there's not a second lens for depth sensing. It also takes great night sight photos. Video performance can shoot 4K 30, but as with most Android phones, the quality is decent but not great. Image stabilization works well enough, but there's still occasional choppiness you can see in the videos. It can also shoot slow-mo video with 1080p at 120 frames per second. Alright, so let's talk about some possible cons of using this phone today. While it shipped with Android 9, it's been updated to Android 11, and that stock Google is still super smooth to use. That being said, software support is only guaranteed by Google through May of 2022, so this could very well be the last major Android update it gets. You're also missing out on wireless charging. I use wireless charging, but it's not that hard to just plug in the phone, but I know it's a big deal to some people, so I wanted to mention it. As good as the camera is for the budget segment, you'll notice the slow shutter speed and processing time required on photos. Not a deal breaker, but worth mentioning. It's also got some chonky bezels that were more normal in 2019, but you don't really notice them after you've used it for a while. The biggest con for me is no option for 128 gigabytes of storage. 64 gigabytes is probably fine for most people, but I always buy the bigger storage size when it's offered, and it sucks that that's just not an option here. But at $100, this thing is impressive, like seriously impressive. It's not going to outperform the Galaxy or OnePlus flagships, but that's not really what it was made for. If you're looking for a solid backup phone or maybe something to hold you over until a new flagship release, you should really check out this phone. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. And if you could find one for $100 like I did, definitely pick it up. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for stopping by.